Hey everyone, this is Kathy with the DP2 team, and I'm going to take you through a couple of new pieces that are new in version 28.1 of DP2, namely the 36 Pix DP2 integration. There's glass glare, there's some new color options. I'll show you around DP2, show you where that plays out everywhere. And also there are a couple of new user experience enhancements, and I'll be sure to cover those here as well.
Let me go through everything that's new here with the 36 Pix DP2 integration of a couple of new features that 36 Pix released. Let me do a little setup here for you. I have 36 Pix original images. These were provided by 36 Pix. They have images on a variety of studio backgrounds. I don't think anything's really changed with their knockout. But I have glass glare examples because that's one of the new features that is now integrated into DP2 is their glass glare removal feature. And I'll just bounce around on a couple of these kids. You can see obvious glass glare in these images. I think I hit up every one of these kids. Yeah, at least a variety of them. Very obvious glass glare. And instead of me actually sending up that I want glass glare removal to 36 Pix and waiting for those to come back during the webinar, what I did, everyone, is I have a completely different order. They're the same images, but they're in a different location. So they're different image paths in DP2. I don't want to leave any of you with the impression that it takes two different orders to do this. If you've been working with 36 Pix, you know that images are returned seamlessly right back into your original order, regardless of the operation that you ordered on the image. So I just want to make that perfectly clear that I am only set up this way for demonstration purposes so that I don't have to wait for images to come back. So you can see a whole bunch of knockouts. You can see some combination knockouts and glass glare. You can see just individual glass glare without the knockout. In fact, I'll show you if I hover over one of these 36 Pix icons here. There are tool tips on your 36 Pix icons, the hover text, that will tell you what operations were ordered and if glass glare was removed or if glass glare was not detected. But that will be good information for you, everyone, is to hover over your 36 Pix icon, and the hover tip will tell you what was ordered and if glass glare was removed or not detected. I'm going to hit a Q. That's the shortcut, everyone, to bring up your 36 Pix window. That's the shortcut you have now that you're probably using. I will also show you the right click menu way of getting there. But what I'd like to do is open up the pre-28.1 36 Pix window that you're all used to. So just for a side-by-side comparison, let me just point out some of the obvious differences to you. Pre-28.1, the name of the dialog was Send Images for 36 Processing. It's this label here, not the name of my image that I simply just opened from the File menu. Where in 28.1, it's called 36 Processing. The primary reason for the name change was that this dialog now is used for more than just sending images to 36 Pix. I'm hoping you can see my mouse there moving around the 36 Pix transactions. And also you see the glass glare backup management set of. So we decided to rename it from Send to 36 Pix Processing because it's doing much more in this version 28.1 than it previously did. Some other obvious differences, everyone, I think you can see is pre-28.1, there were service level options to choose from for your priority work, your rush work, your regular work, and also services, knockout, crop, color, and pass through. So you can see here in the new 28.1 dialog, service levels are in a column, and also 36 Pix image operations are in their respective column. One thing to make note of, and you do have this on your agenda, it is in the What's New document that I bet you guys go to as soon as you install a new version, right? To just be reminded of all the new features when you do get the chance to upgrade to 28.1. What was traditionally passed through, that's when you don't want any human inspection from 36 Pix. You're just passing the work through their algorithm. Maybe you get it back sooner. I'm not really sure. You guys know if you're using that or not. But we just want to make you aware that that's now labeled auto in here. So we're switching from pass through to auto. I'm going to show you where in the database it's a service level to trigger. Let's say you're sending scripts into DP2 from order feeders to indicate what service level or operations of your 36 Pix work need to be performed. We're going to ask that you start using auto instead of pass through. I'll show you the field that indicates that pass through is deprecated, which means that we're supporting it, but eventually we'd like to phase that out of the DP2 36 Pix integration entirely. So we're giving you plenty of time here, and it might even be something that you have not used or don't use very often, but just be aware that pass through is deprecated and you'll be now using a service level of auto. And I'll have another opportunity here in this section to point that out to you. I think those are the obvious differences between the dialogue. So let me go through the couple of new features here that 36 Pix wanted us to integrate DP2 with here. There's a couple of additional color options. Notice in the pre-28.1 dialog for 36 Pix, it's just a single color option. And that's the one that's selected here by default, where each image is optimized by 36 Pix based on its own merit, just image by image. They've added also average by camera and average by job. So they'll send back an average set of corrections based on either camera, maybe you're going to upload 3 sets of cameras worth of images, and those can be optimized per camera in that case. Or if you want the whole job optimized by some average, you have that option. I'm sure if you're interested in these, you would go through some diligent testing with 36 Pix on either of these new and now integrated color features in 28.1. Let's talk about glass glare. Glass glare is just a checkbox. It's an imaging operation. And I'll start going through these glass glare backup image management tools that'll do a good job of reinforcing a message that we really need to come across to you about glass glare. And that's really whether you're sending glass glare operation requests on its own or glass glare with knockout. Doesn't matter if color and crop are in either of those scenarios I just described. You could have glass glare, color and crop. You could have, glass glare knockout and color and crop. But these are the really two that we want you to be aware of. The difference between sending images with both knockout and glass glare enabled versus just glass glare enabled. So let me point this out to you, this bottom row here. You can see that it looks like 6 of these glass glare images also have knockout. I can tell by the blue background because that's the color I picked for knockout images in this order. And then you see a few, I think it's 4 images that still have their background. And if these hover tips displayed for you, you would see on the images that still have the background that glass glare was ordered without knockout. And you'd see on these images where glass glare was removed that it was both glass glare and knockout that was ordered. So let me start taking you through some of these filters. I'm going to choose view here. And what we get are just the images that were ordered without knockout. Because what happens, guys, when you choose glass glare with knockout, there's not going to be a backup image because glass glare is removed in the mask of the image for your knockout. And I'll show you the difference between these two, but we'll focus on this case scenario for the moment where you've ordered glass glare without knockout. For the first time, 36 Pix has to send us a new image for that glass glare removal because they can't put it in the knockout layer or mask because you didn't order knockout at the same time. So let me open up one of these images that has the glass glare removed, and you can see the file name. It's just glare.jpg on my disk. Let me choose the show button to show you a comparison. There's a tooltip on there. I probably should have hovered over it for a second to show you that these have tooltips that show the backup image for the selected images. This one's going to be a reminder for you, the tooltip on view, that what you're going to be viewing are images where just glass glare was ordered without the knockout operation at the same time. So we can clearly see the difference. I want to point out that this one on disk is labeled glare.jpg with this extension underscore 36 pix BU. So that one is sitting on disk and we're able to open it, for these this comparison sake. Let me close that comparison and show you what else we can do here. I could select these for images. I could choose delete. I'm jumping to delete before restore just because it makes more sense to cover it that way, at least in this walkthrough that I'm doing it. I could just go ahead and remove the backup images on disk. So if you decide that you want to do that, that's a function there for you to remove your tagged images. So when the image gets returned from 36 Pix, DP2 is just seamlessly integrating that in for you and saving the original image as the backup. So those could be deleted, but I won't delete them. But I will take this one. Remember, this one has the glass glare that has been removed, and I'll go ahead and restore it. And this is the function that would restore that backup file in the database. And that's done very seamlessly, very instantly, just the same as when you get your images back from 36 Pix in this glass glare scenario. It happens very seamlessly for you. This is a really cool function, you guys. I'm going to show you now. It's new in 28.1 because I still have more to share with you on the 36 Pix integration. I've obviously run a filter here in the order images window. We've added a shortcut on your keyboard, Alt plus A for all, to return to all images in your order images window, regardless of the filter that you may have run. It might have been a 36 Pix filter. It might have been some other filter in your order images window, but that's a new shortcut that we have for you in DP2 version 28.1. Alt plus A will return you back to all of your images. I'm going to take you to the right click menu now, chroma key. That's the same in the same location. These first four options are the same. These drive the background that you want to see behind your knocked out images. We did add this 36 Pix divider label for you just to clearly indicate, the difference between these, which are DP2 functions that'll replace the background of your choice with a background or a fill color, or you can show the original image or the mask. And these are very specific to your 36 Pix operations. One here is new, and it's labeled View Images having a 36 Pix backup image. And it's pretty cool because if you use this one, opposed to the one that I used up from the dialog where I was just viewing a 36 Pix images where a backup image was returned. And as a reminder, you're only going to get a backup image for your glass glare if you order glass glare without knockout, without knockout combined in that operation request. But if I choose this filter, oops, let me go back there again, you guys. Let me right click again and choose this one. I went to the wrong one. The one I just brought up is exactly the same, guys, as the view button in the dialog box. It was this one that I wanted to choose because we've added glass glare to this list. So the main menu item there is not new, but having glare removal in there is. And this one will return a filtered list, a filter view rather, of your images where just glass glare was ordered. I have 3 now because I restored one of them. Or no, it's not even in here anymore because I restored it. So glass glare is not a part of it. So then I have these other ones in here that have glass glare removed, but they also additionally have the knockout. So just want to make sure that that's a clear concept. If you guys need any help with that, once you do upgrade to 28.1, we know that some time goes by. So we tend to hear from you, post this webinar after some time goes by, and then you get around to installing 28.1 because that works for your upgrade schedule. We're here for you, and we can work with you individually and reinforce any of this sort of high-level information at this time. I'm going to go back to all images with the Alt-A. Let me right-click again, see if there's anything else in here that I want to share with you. I think all the other ones are the same. So beware of this view that's new. And we also had to put in this glare removal as one of the operations that you could filter on. There's 36 Pix history. There are some couple of things that are new in here. So let me go to that. And then I'll show you, I'm going to move this over actually for now and expand this. I want to remind you that in the image services window, this is the guy that runs and does the exporting, does the importing, does your checking and your statuses as to where they are from DP2 to 36 Pix and then back from 36 Pix. We did add an open progress here, and it works a little bit differently. It'll give you the opportunity to do a search. So I'll come back up and I'll hit that one. But I just wanted to point out to you in the 36 Pix history window that there now is the glare column. The color column now contains your image by image color operation, average by camera, or average by job. So, if you're feeding this information in from the outside, you can be using these accordingly now. And then the other one that I wanted to point out to you, or a couple of things I wanted to point out to you, in the service column, there is, I think I have some autos in here. No, maybe I don't, but I'll do a search, and these service levels have auto was added because of the pass-through, the deprecated pass-through field. We want you to start using the auto service level. So that's been added at the service level. And the pass-through column is over here at the end with the deprecated label. It is supported if you were to continue to use it, but the idea of deprecating it is to let you know that it's supported now, but it will eventually be phased out of the DP2 36 Pix integration, and we're asking you to start using the auto service instead. Let me close this history window, show you this way of getting to it, and I'll do a search. So instantly it pops open a search criteria because maybe you have a lot of records in your history. Sort of depends on how many days of history you keep, and that's a setup for your 36 Pix. It's on the setup tab of this 36 Pix image services table, I have to use a percent sign, which is a good reminder to you all that you can use a percent sign anywhere in your string to get matches when you're searching in any DP2 search criteria dialog like this one. I have to use a percentage in the front because I accidentally put a space in one or two of my 36 Pix orders. So just a good reminder that you've got that wild card to use wherever you need to use it in your search strings in DP2. And yeah, it's the same table. I just wanted to show you that it's a different way of getting to the history table. And of course, it gives you that search criteria opportunity. So I think, let me take a look at my notes here, everyone. Oh, help. Why do I always wait till the end to talk about help? Anywhere in here, everyone, all the help has been updated. So you've got new help in here for the new dialogue, the new glass glare feature, the new color options, anywhere in DP2 where it's going to affect the new operations that are now integrated with 36 Pix in DP2. All the help in the system has been updated. So please do a better job than I do of remembering to use the help, whether it be F1 or clicking on our little help book icon. And then this takes us, everyone, to the last section on our agenda under User Experience Enhancements, Manage Field Sequences. I don't know how many of you are accustomed to using Manage Field Sequences, but we have this Fields button in a bunch of DP2 tables, order data, order images, order items. The whole idea of managing your field sequences, everyone, and this is really the important point to remember, is you can rearrange the order of your fields so that when you and your operators pop open a table, you get the columns in front of you that are meaningful instead of like at the very end of a very long table like order data or order images. What we did for you in this version is we made our default show all fields editable so that you don't have to go through the trouble of creating different custom field sequences for, you might need to, I mean, if you want different people to have different views of these tables, then that would be creating custom field sequences per user. If you want workstations to be different, then those could be custom field sequences by workstation. But if you want everybody's to be the same, you can now alter the default show all fields sequence that every table already has. So sort of complicated to explain it because there's so many ways to customize, but I think you guys are used to that with DP2. Please tuck this away, inside your brain or a note. And if you need help, when you get to 28.1, let us know and we can reinforce this with you. But we've exposed the show all fields only in 36 Pix, and you can rearrange your fields, drag and drop. If you're not familiar with this, you might need to take some time to familiarize yourself with the help for manage field sequences, or reach out to us and we can certainly help you. And I'm going to do one more thing here. I'm going to open up a table because we do have that in the 36 Pix table. But for example, in order data, one of those really big, long tables, right? And maybe the stuff in the front when you open it is not important to you. There's a fields button, and there's also a show all fields that is our default. We're giving you the opportunity to modify the default. So as soon as you, let's say as a manager, as soon as you change the order, well, it's going to be changed for everybody in the lab. I'll go to Manage Field Sequences, and I'll show you that unlike 36 Pix, we didn't preload it for you. So it's not sitting in here like it is in the 36 Pix history window where you could just access it, change it, and save the order of your fields. But it's pretty cool in here. All you have to do is choose New, press this button that says show all fields. There's a tooltip there for you. It can only be implemented at the system level. If I tried to choose something else, it's going to remind you that it's a system level change that I'm going to make. So I'll go ahead and create that. And now there's a show all fields sequence, and I'll just go one step further here. The asterisk indicates all fields in their default order in the database. But I'm going to start switching things up and do order ID. I'll do status. I'll do type. I'll do ship date. So I'm really changing like the first 4 fields that are going to appear here. And then the asterisk will bring in all the other fields that I have not specifically placed at the top. Remember, these can be moved around. I'll save this, so keep your eye on these fields in the table. I'll confirm it. And now you can see status, type, ship date. I've rearranged the fields that easily, and that's how you could update that default show all fields for everybody in the lab without having to mess with individual ones for workstations or users, unless of course you need to drill down more granularly and have different people or different workstations see different fields and the order of fields. So it's a little bit of a complicated description of this, but at a high level, just please remember that we can help you with the ordering of your field sequences in any table that supports those field sequences. And I'm looking at our agenda. Notice that keyboard shortcut that's under under User Experience Enhancements on our agenda for today. That's the Alt-A that I was sharing with you that will return all of your images here after you've done a filtered view. And then the last one I want to share with you that's on our list, the worker windows when they're in an expanded view. I have a worker open here. If you hover over the timestamp, will pop the date there for you. That might be helpful for you to know when that worker was actually started on your system. And I think that might have come in as a request from some of you to show the date when you hover over the timestamp.